It does not know gender barriers or socioeconomic barriers or race barriers. It hits us all, and so I think it's important, especially like in rural communities like Caldwell County.
Well, I think it's because everybody knows everybody. That's the thing.
That's
Everybody
right.
knows everybody. Everybody's mama knows everybody,
That's
you know,
right.
and so on and so forth. So, I mean, if anything happens or if anything's going on, people have the tendency to just, oh, I don't want nobody to know about that. And, you know, they have the analogy of what's on the outside of the mask and what's on the inside of the mask.
Bingo. And you hit it on the nail right
Right.
there. We all have masks. We all have our public persona of
Right.
what we allow people to see.
Right.
But then we have the inner. And the thing is this, you know, and I get that. And I hear that probably daily from my clients, you know, who come in the back door of my office, so to speak.
Well, yeah, because they're embarrassed. I mean, you know, well, what if my boss sees me up here? Well,
Yeah.
I don't want them to know that, you know, that I need to see anybody or that I'm having any trouble.
Sure.
And I hate that.
Right.
I wish, you know, that people could just get over that stigma.
But here's the thing, we can do better. And, you know, as a society, there have been times that we've had to had to match that challenge and do
Right.
better. Think of the 60s, civil rights, right? The
Right.
80s, other things going on, gender equality.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, mental illness is the same thing.
Right.
You know, I could walk in here with a broke arm, or I could walk in here with a cane, and immediately I would get your empathy. Would I not?
Absolutely.
What would you say to
Absolutely.
me? What would be?
What in the world did you do to your arm?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would ask.
Yeah, or and then it would probably be followed up with,
Bless your heart.
yeah, absolutely. But when someone is struggling with depression or
Right.
anxiety, that's something that, you know, you can't see with the human eye,
Mm-hmm.
but the feelings are there. The pain is there. And so it's a matter of getting that out there and saying, you know what? I experience depression. I
Right.
experience anxiety. I
That's
experience.
the scary part, though. Oftentimes, by the time we see it physically, it's too late.
There you go.
And that's what is so scary is they hold it all in,
Right.
and you can't see it. And then when you finally do, now we're at an emergency situation, or it may be too late.
Absolutely. And you're exactly right. Suicide, and I don't have my stats in front of me. I know that suicide with veterans, it's about 19 or 20 a day, could be more.
Right.
Suicide, I want to say, please don't quote me, people, but I want to say suicide is the second leading cause in the age group of 13 to 24 or around that range. And that is because we don't talk about what's
Right.
happening. So
Right.
parents, if you get anything from this, talk to your kids.
Right.
Ask them how they're doing. There are not enough services in rural communities. And oftentimes, and I think we talked about this the other day, oftentimes instead of talking about it, we reach for a bottle
We do.
or we reach for the pills.
Well, that's the easy part. Nobody has to know about that, but that's between the doctor and you, you know, or the cashier and you.
There you
often.
go. But in a way, too, it's almost like that's acceptable behavior, you know, like alcohol. We
Right.
have normalized pill popping. We have
Right.
normalized drinking. We have normalized all of these coping mechanisms that are, I mean, quite frankly, if taken in excess, are unhealthy coping mechanisms.
Now, if we could just normalize the therapy,
There you go.
then we wouldn't need the rest of it.
Therapy should be as normal as when you have a cold and you go to a doctor.
Right.
Seek a counselor when you're experiencing the pain of the mind, when you're experiencing depression, when you're experiencing anxiety, when you're experiencing ADHD or OCD, or when you're feeling so hopeless and so alone and that nobody cares about you.
That could hit any day too. I mean, that's something
Absolutely.
you can go to bed tonight, not a problem. Wake up tomorrow, bam, it's there. And you
Absolutely.
It's not going to write you a note and say, "Wait a minute, you're going to have a really bad day tomorrow. Don't make sure you get up early. You're going to need a lot of coffee in the morning. It's going to be horrible." Life doesn't do that. It throws us curveballs.
All the time, all the time. You know, an interesting statistic that I do have, 75% of people that go into general practitioner offices go into those offices based on stress.
Right.
So it started off as stress and now it may be something else, but it's stress. And if we can hit stress early, there are a ton of stress reducing techniques that mental health professionals,
Breathing, you can
doctors.
do it at your desk.
You know what? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, and
There-
it's not just the people that are going through it; it's the caregivers. You and I were talking about this
Right.
on the phone yesterday. I'm telling you, you could talk to this guy for like 2 or 3. I could, but it's the caregivers too. It's not just you. Don't have to be the person that is suffering from something. You could be the person that's trying to be there for them, or the support system. You could be
That's
the
right.
mom or the dad. Oftentimes we're kids, and our moms and dads are the ones that need it. And it's as a caregiver or somebody that's trying to help, maybe now we're stressed out. Maybe it's the stress level part of it because now we're caring for someone else. Or maybe we just don't know how and we're looking for information on how to support somebody else because you can do that too, right?
Absolutely. Which brings us back to Mental Health Awareness Day at Big Springs Park
See,
this
that's
Sunday.
perfect.
4 to 6 p.m. Bring a blanket and some chairs. We're going to have the Justin Reynolds Band out there.
Oh, wow.
They're going to be playing from 4 to 6 p.m. Big John's Barbecue donated their big grill. And David Rogers Pet Grooming has donated some time and some finances for some food. So we're going to be doing hamburgers and hot dogs and beverages and things like that. It's a family event. We'll have NAMI out there, the National Association for Mental Illness, who will have a table set up with mental awareness, mental illness information, and ways in which to seek help. I encourage Pennyroyal and Mountain Comp and all the other providers, local providers around here, come out to the park. Let's do some advocacy. Let's do some education. And let's realize that we are not alone.
Right.
As you said earlier, donations are being accepted. All donations will be going to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, which I think is a very worthy cause.
Absolutely.
It's just going to be a great day. We do have a couple.
Hey, should be good weather.
Absolutely.
We've ordered good weather for this weekend, so we're
Absolutely.
we're gonna say a couple of prayers and cross our fingers and hope that comes through.
Absolutely. If we could get the local preachers to pray for and for everyone else to pray for the good weather. We do have 2 speakers coming out who are going to share their stories of hope and resiliency and a little bit about their own mental health journey and how they found recovery. And so I'm really excited. I'm really proud. These people are doing it on their own time and their own free will. And so I want to say, you know who you are. Thank you very much for being a part of this event. And hopefully this is going to be a pretty big turnout.
I'm excited. I can't wait to come out this weekend. So we're going to be all over the place, but we're going to make sure that we come out there because it's
Great.
something that it hits everybody at one point, or a family member, or you yourself. I mean, everybody's depressed at one time in their life. Come on.
Right.
I mean, that you can pretend that you're not, but it hits you at some point. So I guarantee you that, like with my daughter, I know my daughter always likes to think that I guess I was just born old. And I never had a heartbreak. I never had any of those things. When your kids think you're just born old. They don't think. But sometimes when they have somebody alternatively to go to and talk to that they know is a safe place, and it's not necessarily always the school, they
right.
have to be in summer break too. And what if you're in college? Well, there's a whole nother set of problems. So that's really good. And at least this way they can come out and get to know you guys this weekend. Give us the hours again and a phone number.
Absolutely. So Princeton Counseling, 270-874-7033. Call us to get more information. The hours are going to be from 4 until 6 p.m. at Big Springs Park, which is right next to our office, 111 East Washington Street. Again, please bring a blanket or some chairs. We will not be able to provide that. And we look forward to seeing everyone at the park.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Come back and see us, would ya?
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. It is 8:42 WPKY. Stay tuned. Steve Kukahiko. I can see him through the window. He's out there. Oh, look at him. He's out there talking. He's warming it up, y'all.